So, hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to run you through a full day of eating. Now, I posted this on my stories asking seeing if there'd be any interest, and everyone said yes, do it. So, here we are, full day of eating. Today for me is actually a high day. I'm training today as well, so I've got hamstrings and glute focus session. It's an area that we're trying to bring up, so this is why we're having the high day today, and then I've got chest and triceps tomorrow, so then that session will also massively benefit from this high day. So I'm not actually 100% sure on calories and macros for this day because I follow a diet plan rather than flexible dieting, but I will tally this up like towards the end of the day and just see roughly where we're at. It's not going to be 100% accurate because of the fact that I have an off-plan meal tonight as well as part of my high day. So I have 2 high days a week. First one I have on a Tuesday, which is I don't have an off-plan meal for. I just stick to my usual dinner. But then on a Friday is when I have my off-plan meal, because currently right now the aim is put on as much size as possible. We're pushing up. So I think I've got about 3 weeks left of this push up, currently sitting between 93.5 and 94 kilos. So got 3 weeks left, see if we can bridge towards the 95 region, and then we'll do a short little tidy up where we'll pull off a couple of kilos. But as for today, so I've got actually a mainly coaching focused day, because obviously I'm an online coach and a PT, but today is mainly coaching work, so it'd be quite cool to take you with me, show you what I do. A lot of it's just gonna be me sitting at the computer, but I can kind of run you through what it is that I'm doing because I've got a few client setups, and then first thing this morning I've actually got a action call with a potential client that wants to come on board. So first thing that we're gonna do, I've just got up, just gone to the toilet, weighed myself. Now I'm gonna make my hydration shake that I have every morning. So what I've got here is HydroFlow. Normally I'd put a freshly squeezed lemon in this as well, but I've actually run out of lemons and I didn't realise. So a little bit of a balls up on that, but it'll be fine. So I just use 1 scoop of HydroFlow in a litre of water with a freshly squeezed lemon. Drink that within the first 20 minutes, half an hour of me being up, just to basically get my body hydrated and ready for the day. Then I've got my AM health subs. So I've got a vitamin D3 and K2, multivitamin here, some fish oil as well. Then I've got Strom Support Max and P5P. So I'm just going to make my shake up and get these ready, and then I will hop on my sales call, and I'll run you through meal 1 in a little bit. So that's the first bit of work box off for the day. Really productive call. Someone that I definitely think that I can help and has signed up and taken action. So it's really good. So as I say to all my clients, like, it takes a few days for me to get programming and stuff set up, so don't expect your program to be sent over to you the same day. Just because I don't do any cookie cutter, copy and paste plans. Like, I like to spend my time, I like to personalize these plans because they need to be personalized. They need to fit into your schedule, be programmed towards your goals, towards your needs and what you can and can't do. So it does just take a bit of time, and it's worth waiting for. It's better that I invest the time and they wait for a couple of days than just me send over a plan straight away and it's not really the most effective plan for them. So anyway, now that that's done, on to meal 1. So for the first meal, I've got 100 grams of oats in my lovely pink tub, with 150 ml of almond milk, 20 grams of almond butter. I can have either almond butter or peanut butter, but for me, almond butter is just way better, way better. And then I've also got 100 grams of banana and 50 grams of whey in here as well. The only protein powder that I will use is Perform. Currently I've got caramel biscuit, which basically is Biscoff. I've been on this for like three or four months now. It's unreal, absolutely unreal. Previously, I think I was on the white Kinder Bueno, which again, really nice. But this is just I find it's a little bit less sweet, and it's just so good, so good. Then I've also got 50 grams of rice-based cereal. So I've just got Rice Krispies in here, and that's all for meal one. Little pro tip that I shouldn't really be doing, but weirdly I am still doing, is it's something that I picked up through my dieting, and when food sizes are smaller, using a small spoon, so using a teaspoon to eat my oats with, because it's one of my favourite meals, I really like to make it last. So I use a smaller spoon so that it takes longer for me to eat. Now that I'm obviously pushing food and eating a lot of food, the whole purpose of it doesn't really make sense. Like, I may as well just be eating with a big spoon, but it's just something that I'm in the habit of, and I always do, weirdly. I remember previous prep that I did, I moved down to the tiny little baby spoons, just making sure, like savouring every mouthful and just making it last twice as long. If you use a smaller spoon, feels like you got more food. So a little pro tip there for anyone dieting. But yeah, so I'm going to crack on and eat this first meal. So you'll probably see a very similar theme running throughout this day on a high day, and that's, I have rice-based cereal with, I believe, three or four of my meals. Now the reasoning for this is, firstly, it's still a good quality carbohydrate, it's a good quality food source because of the fact it's rice-based cereal. It's not just a sugary, shitty treat, but also as well, like, it's very easily digestible. So when I'm feeling full after a big bowl of oats or something like that, like, I can still pack in 50 to 80 grams of cereal, because it's basically like puffs of air, like it feels like it's nothing. So it's just a good way to get calories up and carbohydrates up nice and high without having to like struggle too much with digestion, because the point we're at, where we're on this high day, like I say, I don't know the exact calories, I'll work it out, but it's got to be somewhere between 4,000 and 4,500, I would imagine. It's a lot of food to get in, so if you then start adding more rice, more oats, things like that, the amount that you can get from that before like you're just so full that you feel like you can't eat anymore is next to nothing, and then it starts to ruin digestion and you just feel full and bloated and sluggish and feel a bit shitty for the whole day. Versus if you chuck in some like rice-based cereal to increase calories, like I say, it digests so well and so easily. It's just a really good way of getting extra calories and extra carbohydrates in. So now that that's done, I've got some client work to do. I've got a couple of PT sessions in an hour and a half, but before that, like I said, where I've got an hour and a half, gonna do some, I've got some check-ins to do. Good morning. So thank you for getting the check-in done for me and back across to me. Looking like clearance is basically, we're at a good spot now. We've dropped best part of 4 kilos, which is really, really good. Well, 3.5-ish, which is really, really good. So that means obviously it's done its job now, and now we can look to kind of move into the next phase and set a baseline again. So calories are going to go up, as well as we're going to reduce cardio. So meal 2 about to go down. I do apologise, you guys are probably all expecting to see me cook each and every meal. It's just not what I do. I prep my meals the night before, so everything that you'll see me eat today, pretty much, bar like my evening meal that I cook fresh, will be out of the fridge and in Tupperware. Typical bodybuilder, like even when I'm at home, I still eat out of Tupperware for the most part. But yeah, so apologies for that, but like I say, meals are already prepped. So for meal 2, I have got 80 grams of rice noodles with some stir-fry veg, 200 grams of raw chicken, obviously weighed raw, now cooked, not going to eat it raw. And then I've just get some teriyaki sauce and put some teriyaki sauce on that. On all of my chicken, I use the butter chicken seasoning flavouring packet. There's like next to no calories in it. I use it relatively sparingly, and it just makes dry, old bland chicken so much nicer and so much more enjoyable. And at the end of the day, you're going to digest things that you find more enjoyable and you find more palatable, so they're going to sit better with you anyway. And then, as it's a high day, also another 50 grams of rice-based cereal. So for this next meal, you're finally going to get to see me do some cooking. There's 2 meals out of the day that I don't prep, which just because they just taste so much nicer fresh, and they're really pretty grim to reheat. And that's my dinner, which tonight you won't see that. You'll just see me have an off-plan meal instead of my usual dinner. But it's normally mince and potato with a brioche bun, so I just turn it into basically like a burger and chips with some salad. And then this final meal, this would normally be my final meal of the day, but I'm having to change some of my meals around just because of my training time. So when I train tonight at like 6 p.m, I'm going to have to come back and I'm going to have to eat 2 meals, which are going to be my post-workout meal and then my off-plan meal. So I'm just moving what would normally be my final meal of the day to earlier on in the day. So this is now meal 3 instead of being meal 6. About to go down. 2 bagel thins with turkey rashers and eggs.
Sit down. You gonna let me sit down?
Don't just estimate things as well. Make sure you're weighing everything correctly. So make sure that you're putting everything on the scales. Even when you've been doing it a little while, don't guesstimate. Because I've been doing this for like I've been doing this for about 4 or 5 years now in terms of like flexible diet and stuff, and I still will never be able to guess the weight accurately. I weigh absolutely everything just to be on the safe side. So we are back with meal 4, which is my pre-workout meal. So this is where things get a little bit more exciting, and we actually have some quite tasty food, to be fair. So let me just pop this down so I can get the angle right. So for the main bulk of my meal, I've got cream of rice. Now I use this complete strength, unflavoured cream of rice. This is my first time using cream of rice, to be fair. Like I know a lot of bodybuilders use it, and it's something that I wanted to try just because of the fact that it's like really easily digestible. I get on pretty well with oats, but I just wanted to try this, and I've got to say, like, now that I've had to play about with it, the first time was absolutely rank and I couldn't really stomach it. It wasn't great, but now I've kind of learned how to cook it and learned what to do. Like, it is pretty nice. One thing that I would suggest is if you put your protein in it, either go for a flavour that doesn't contrast your protein flavour too much, or do what I've done and get unflavoured here. I got 2 bags. I got unflavoured and I got strawberry cheesecake, which sounds really good. And to be fair, it tastes pretty good right up until you put the protein in, because then I've got my Biscoff flavoured protein, and the two just did not sit right together. I ended up throwing that one away and just making a bowl of oats instead. But now that I've got it right and I use the unflavoured, really nice. So I've got 100 grams of cream of rice in here, along with 20 grams of dark chocolate, 50 grams of whey, and 100 grams of frozen blueberries. And then after that, I have 2 chocolate chip muffins, which are probably the highlight of my high day. I prefer these, to be honest, even to my off-plan meal, bar maybe. Sometimes I have some cookies and off-plan meal and they're pretty damn good. But yeah, so this is probably one of my favourite meals of the day. Gonna eat this. I've got roughly an hour and a half-ish until I train. Normally I eat about an hour before, but on a high day where it's so much food to consume, I just like to give myself a little bit longer to digest it. So I'll eat this, and then in roughly around an hour and a half, hopefully, we should be in the gym. I've been waiting around for the missus. I'm gonna take her for a session. She wants to start up coaching with me. She wants me to help her get into the gym and hopefully fall in love with the whole process. So we're gonna go train hamstrings and glutes tonight down in Weymouth Gym, so it's about a half-hour journey. She should be finishing in about 15-20 minutes, so by the time she gets home, gets ready, and we get down there, probably looking about an hour and a half. So I'm gonna eat this now, and then the next time you'll see me will probably be in the gym. I'll just do a short little edit in the gym. Not gonna run through the whole session, just because, to be honest, that's a video in itself. So that's probably a video that I'm going to be doing soon, is taking you through one of my workouts. So just be a little bit of an edit like the last video was. But yeah, I shall go enjoy this food, and hopefully you enjoy the little edit that I put together. So just getting my shakes ready for the gym now. I figured I'd film this because everyone loves supplements, right? That's what everyone wants to talk about. But supplements are literally, like, as they say on the tin, they're there to supplement your training and supplement your nutrition. Like, they're the things that matter most. It's not the be all and end all with supplements. Like, yeah, sure, they're great. They may give you make your life more convenient or give you that extra 1% advantage. But like I say, it's something that can be added once you've got everything else in line. You can't supplement poor nutrition and poor training and just take supplements and hope that you're going to get the results, because it doesn't work like that. So this is my intra-workout shake. So I have 5 grams of creatine, currently using USN creatine just because it was relatively cheap and cheerful, to be honest. Don't need to go overboard. Like, as long as it's micronized creatine monohydrate, you're all good. Then I have 15 grams of aminos. So what the aminos are going to do intra-workout is basically, we've got 2 different systems in our body. Well, one system in our body that's designed to build muscle, which is called muscle protein synthesis. This is why we aim to eat every 3 to 4 hours to keep this this state of muscle protein synthesis going. When we train, we go into the opposite of that, which is called muscle protein breakdown, because we're literally breaking down muscles in the workout. So then what the aminos do, the essential amino acids, they're just the higher amounts of the better amino acids, the more complete amino acids, and the essential amino acids, versus the BCAAs, which are just branched chain amino acids. This is kind of more concentrated down to the more essential amino acids. So then when we take that during our workout, it helps to negate some of that muscle protein breakdown, hopefully tip us more in the balance towards muscle protein synthesis. So then the only other thing that I've got in this intra-workout shake is my highly branched chain cyclic dextrin, which is a mouthful. It's basically just a fancy way of saying the easiest digestible source of carbohydrates, because we want a carbohydrate source during our workout to help fuel our workout, but at the same time we don't want to be eating something like rice or having a drink that's going to cause us to bloat, because if we're trying to digest something during our workout, then that means blood's going to be moving to our digestive system, which means less blood is going to be pumping to the muscles that we want to be. And quite often you can feel a bit bloated and sluggish and not feel the best in the gym. So this helps to negate that as much as possible, while still getting those carbohydrates in. So I have 40 grams of Carb X is the carb powder I'm using. And that is my intra-workout shake done. Then, where is it? There it is. I have my pre-workout, which I was using MV Pre. I've used 2 tubs of that now, so for the last couple of months. Really, really good high stimulant pre-workout, probably one of the best that there is. But I like to change mine up every couple of months just because I start to get used to it. So now I've moved over to Naughty Boy Menace, which I've used before. It's a solid one, to be fair, solid, consistent pre-workout. So I just have one serving of that. And then what I also like to do is put some pink Himalayan sea salt in. So salt is just basically going to help to provide us with a pump. So I just put anywhere between 3 and 5 grams of that in. I don't want it to taste vile, but at the same time, I want it to kind of serve a purpose and do a job. So that is my intra-workout and pre-workout shake done. That's all in terms of supplements, to be honest. So now going to get ready, go to the gym, and go train hamstrings and glutes.
Hey yo, EH, sauce it up. JS back with a bang on. JS back with a bang on.
So just got back from the gym. Took a little bit longer than expected, but I knew it was going to be a late one anyway. So it's now, I believe, what time is it? 20 to 9. Still have 2 meals to get in, and they're not small meals either. 2 of my biggest meals of the day. So for post-workout meal, I've got 100 grams of rice, dry weight rice, that is, 200 grams of chicken, 80 grams of rice-based cereal, an apple, and then a bagel with 40 grams of jam on as well. Not a bagel thin, an actual bagel. So gonna get this down as quickly as possible, and then give it a couple of hours and then have my off-plan meal. It's not gonna be anything crazy for the off-plan meal, probably just steak and chips, but I'm probably gonna end up sitting up till like 11 or 12 o'clock tonight just to make sure that I get it in. So final meal of the day about to go down. This is the off-plan meal. Haven't done anything too fancy, to be honest. It's pretty boring. Normally I'd go all out with like a burger and some halloumi fries, some greasy chips, and then some cookies or something afterwards. But this time of night, like it's 10:30 now, and the amount of food that I've eaten today, like I'm actually just packed in. I just want to get this meal over and done with, just to basically make sure that I'm sticking to what I'm supposed to do, even though it's an off-plan meal. So you'd think, oh, if you just eat on plan, you can probably like it's probably just as good, and then I wouldn't have to eat as much. But I like to keep things consistent as much as possible. So where I have one off-plan meal a week, and it's always on this high day, on a Friday, that's what I'm going to do. So literally just rump steak, a load of oven chips, cooked in a bit of oil, just to make it a little bit more greasy and fatty. And then that is it for the day. So I'll add the total macros up. I won't include this meal. I'll swap that out for my usual high day dinner, just to add up the totals, and I will put them on the screen.
Hey yo, EH, sauce it up.